Hey guys, welcome back to the Suerte Panda channel. Thanks you for watching. I would appreciate a like and subscribe if you enjoy this video. So let's get going. So you'll notice that I put safer in quotation marks because, well, in DeFi there's nothing is really ever safe. Um, but I think I found three projects that, like for now, they seem to be okay. And they still, as of today, they still pay over 50% APR. So why don't we just take a look at some of these projects? So the first one I want to bring up is the Balancer project on Polygon. Uh, I mean, Balance is also on Ethereum mainnet, but obviously right now, um, the gas fees are still pretty high, even after EIP 1559. I don't think the fees will go down that much. So I think that's why for I guess people with more modest balances. Well, actually, I think just most people in general will probably prefer to pay less fees on Polygon. I guess the way to think about Balancer is that it's sort of like a mini index fund of DeFi projects. You have the choice of going with established, um, I guess like a like a set of projects that are already pre-made for you. I think there's also a way that you can also create your own like little basket of projects that you want. But I want to highlight the ones that are I guess like that have like a like or like the pre-made investment pools. Um, like if you see from the screenshot. Like I highlighted in order, like by APR, like the type of pools that you can still get into. By the time you get to it, like the APRs might not be as high because other people might be jumping into them. So I wanted to highlight some of the ones that I think are pretty interesting. So the first one, like the highest one, like the 152 APR. Most of these projects are pretty well known already. So like you have like the wrapped matic, you have like USDC, and then you have of course like the balancer token itself. Um, and then I guess depending how you look at it, like the Chi and the Me Matic token, that might put off some people, but I think since they're a fork of like the Maker DAO project, and they make like the DAO I'm sorry, the DAI stable coin, that gives me a little bit more comfort. And that you have to actually over collateralize in order to mint like so this Mematic, I think they've already rebranded to Mai, so MAI, and that's sort of like the Polygon version of like the DAI stable coin. Um, I guess what you could do, like, if you have like any of these like tokens lying around, you put them into the pool, and then like if you're really scared, like you can probably take out later when the I guess like the liquidity mining program is over. You could probably take it out in either WMatic or USDC. These are or even the balancer token itself. And that's the good thing about like the balancer in general. You don't have to put in like exactly in the proportion that they prefer. Um, you could put them in, but then there'll be a fee when you take out your your original funds because like otherwise like everybody will probably just like take out USDC and that's not gonna be good long term for the pool. And then the next one I kind of want to bring up is the WMatic MTA and the WETH. Now MTA was like this is kind of like an older stablecoin project. This is MTA is like the governance token. I think MUSD is like the original like their version of the stablecoin. So MTA you can think of as kind of like the old school like Chi token. I guess the good thing about this one is even if you don't um like MTA or Matic, I guess like if you put in funds now, you can always take it out as a again as the wrapped ETH token. So there's that. Um, the next set is like the USDC, SNX, GRT, and the wrapped ETH. SNX is also again like one of the OG Ethereum DeFi projects, and they recently migrated their Quanta like trading platform to the layer 2 Optimism mainnet. So in the future, SNX might be like a good token if you like the trading platforms. Maybe take some of this and like stake it over to L1, and then GRT is like the graph token. So there's sort of kind of like the Google of like the DeFi ecosystem, or I guess like maybe just like just like for Ethereum in general. I don't know what the plans are for like future expansion into other ecosystems. Um, so you kind of think of it as like kind of like the reverse Chainlink, where Chainlink is trying to bring real world data into the blockchain. The graph is kind of like the reverse, where you're trying to query data like from like the from like any of the uh, DeFi data um, onto like the real world. And then the next one is this one is still paying out roughly 61%, like the Matic USDC WETH and Balancer pool. Um, and then the next one after that is starting to go down in terms of APR. I remember when they first started, they were kind of like at 200, 300%. But 55% still isn't bad. Especially like if you compare it to like regular stock market. If you're just like placing your money into this fund, and you'll notice like the projects so far in here, they're either old school projects that have a track record. Like they're not like these weird like a fly by night type of like farm tokens. But again, like that still doesn't mean anything. That's why again I put them in, like I put safer in quotation marks, because nothing is ever truly safe. And in fact, I just want to bring up the point that uh sorry that Balanced, they were hacked, like I guess like closer when they had like the V1, uh like but they the founder, he actually reimbursed people that lost money, so that gives me some comfort. Again, like there's no guarantees in DeFi or crypto in general, but the fact that someone, projects that actually take the time to reimburse their I guess like their users, that means a lot to me. Because like for example, Iron Finance, they had the whole supposed bank run a while back, and then they came back with their version 2, but they haven't, as far as I know, they haven't reimbursed anybody yet. So that's kind of like a bad look. Um, but anyway, I think like for now, like any of these pools, depending on what you like. So like if, for example, if you like Aave, you can place that in there, um, and then like take out like the exact same proportion that you put in. You can probably just take out the same amount. Let's see, this is also like another Aave pool, Aave Balancer wrapped ETH and Link. Because again, it's kind of up to you, like what your risk preference is. And then also they pay out weekly. So let's see, I believe like depending on your time zone, they'll pay out like around like Wednesday, Thursday, depending on where you are in the world. So like I've actually have received actual bouncer tokens, so they're not like a. I don't think they're gonna be like a fly by night type project. So I just something to kind of like if you're kind of like sick of like these shady um yield farms that look really good on the surface, like they pay out like allegedly like you know thousands or 10,000 percent um APR. But anything that looks too good to be true, there's probably like some hidden costs behind it that you might want to be aware of. As far as I know, you know, besides like that first hack, I haven't heard anything like really bad about Balancer. And I guess like for my exit strategy, I'll probably exit out when the APRs are probably like when they start heading down to like the low 20%. Um, Again, not financial advice, it's just me talking out loud. Um, and if it helps you, great. If you don't want to go in, that's fine too. So let me move on to the next thing. So the next project is a Kyber network on Polygon. So they were one of the first automated market makers on the Ethereum mainnet. And in fact, like I guess when they first came out, like I want to say like 2 years ago, they were probably one of the main like sources of liquidity for like the decentralized finance space in general. Because back then, like there wasn't like a Uniswap or SushiSwap or any of the like the kind of like the big automated market makers back then. Like they had like really like the decentralized exchanges back then were pretty clunky. And Kyber was one of the first to kind of like have a source of like good liquidity. Like and in fact, like other market makers kind of like they kind of like piggybacked off of their liquidity. But since then, like their like total value locked hasn't been as good, and I think that's why they're starting to kind of trying to make their comeback with like this Rainmaker program. It's available on both L1 mainnet and also in on the Polygon network. Like for again, like I guess like for people with like more modest budgets, like the Kyber network makes sense. So you get paid out in the in their token. Sorry about that noise. The KNC token, and then also depending on uh, which pool you want to jump in, like they also pay out in Matic as well. But like it's the liquidity is starting to dry up. Well, I don't want to say dry up, but I guess like the APRs weren't as good as when they first came on. So like if for example like if you look at the over here like the stablecoin pools, like they I mean it's still I guess decent for stablecoins, but they weren't as good when they first came out. Um, but things that you may want to consider, like for example like if you have like some extra matic lying around, and then like also maybe like you want something or you prefer something a little bit more closer to the safer side. This one looks pretty good at 77% APR for pulling your Matic and DAI tokens. So like this particular one pays out in KNC and Matic. And then the next one, like if you have, I guess when you finally get to collect your KNC tokens, you can probably like put it back maybe into this one as well. Um, like at 88%. So that's something that you guys might want to consider. Or like if you don't feel like risking anything, like I guess like these stable coins are okay. Um, and then if you want to like deposit ETH, these are the ones. I mean, they still pay out pretty decent APR. So again, depending on your risk preference, that's something to think about as well. And then the only like I haven't heard of any hacks or when I did a search, I didn't see anything, but so that gives me a little bit of confidence. But in terms of like total value locked, I guess like in terms of popularity, they probably fell off a little bit. Maybe like this new Rainmaker program might spark some more interest in them. So again, same thing. I guess like if like when the liquidity mining program ends, that's when you might want to consider like heading for the exits. And but this is what I want to bring up. You have to wait to claim your fully unlocked rewards. So it's about like a month after after you've hit like harvest. Um, so first, like the first step is like yeah, like when you have like a decent amount of tokens collected, you have to hit like the harvest bucket button, and then like there'll also be like another tab for you to go to your vesting tab, and that's when you'll see like when it's like fully unlocked, and that's when you can claim like the full amount. You could still claim like I guess if you're in a rush or something like I guess like you need to sell off some tokens to I don't know like pay off a margin loan or something. I guess you could do that, but I guess like for those that are not on margin or trading on leverage, you can just like wait. I think it's better for like the I guess like for them, and then also for like patient investors, like you can get like the full value of your tokens, and then after that, then you can probably sell it off or redeposit or do whatever you want. So I think we have like about a month left. So I think that's plenty of time because hopefully by then, maybe like the Arbitrum and the Optimism networks will be, they'll have more projects and then my guess is that if everything works out, people probably start migrating some of their funds from Polygon onto like more of like the old school names. That's just my guess though. Anything can happen in the crypto space. So the next one is not on Polygon. It's actually on Harmony One. So they're a I guess you could kind of consider Harmony One a Ethereum like kind of competitor. They've already implemented like their sharding and um, like so. I guess you can kind of think of them as like sort of like a sneak peek at what Ethereum 2.0 could look like. And so far like they're also pretty fast and they're also pretty cheap. So maybe like Ethereum 2.0 might be a stretch as a comparison, but but they're definitely maybe like a maybe a Polygon network competitor too, just because like they have fast and cheap transactions. And this is a SushiSwap on Harmony One, so they had like a small liquidity mining program as well. So there's a few interesting things I want to point out. So far, like the APRs are still like above 100%. I don't know if it's because people are afraid of Sushi Swap or maybe they're afraid of Harmony One. Um, 'Cause I know like when Sushi Swap first came out, like they had their whole vampire attack, so they're kind of like um, I guess how do I put this? Like they kind of like ripped off like liquidity from Uniswap when they first started, and then they had like that whole like one of the original founder like he took off all the people's money, so that's actually not funny. But since then, like the Sushi Swap like the new team that took over, they try to redeem themselves. I'm not sure if the original founder he actually did return I think most of the funds, but I think that left a bad taste in a lot of like people's mouths. But I guess like for people that are new to the space, um, since then they haven't had any like I guess like anything bad happen to them. Cross our fingers. Again, like nothing is ever safe in crypto, but so far like the payouts have actually come through. Um, and in terms of like if you notice, like they're paired with like the one token is like the sort of like like their utility token. So like if you want to transact, you have to use like the one token. And they did something smart where they're pairing it off against stable coins. Like so these higher paying ones. Again, nothing is ever fully safe, but the fact that they're pairing it up with stable coins, I think that was a good idea. And then you get paid out in the sushi token, and also the one token itself. Um, and here's something interesting. Like if you notice, like the UST, that's actually from the Terra ecosystem. That's another, I guess like people. I would say like the Terra ecosystem is more popular right now than Harmony One, but Harmony One and in the Terra ecosystem, they had like some like a partnership. The details were kind of vague, but I think this could be the start of like maybe more of their tokens coming over. So I don't know if maybe in the future there'll be like anchor token, or maybe the actual protocols themselves might jump over onto Harmony One as well. So I think because like Harmony One and the Terra ecosystem, they're it's interesting partnership because they both technically could be competitors to each other, but the fact that they're teaming up, maybe they're trying to pull away. Um, I guess like trying to compete against either like Polygon or Ethereum in terms of like low cost and fast speeds. So I think that that could be very interesting going forward. So I'm interested to see like how it go will play out. Supposedly SushiSwap is supposed to implement like the full set of like tools, including like the bento box and X sushi and all that kind of stuff. But I don't know if it's because right now, as you can see, it's just like the swap and then the pools and the farms. I don't know if in the like if they're waiting to implement like their Trident. Um, I guess like their I don't know how you how to say it. It's like a like kind of like maybe like their upgrade. So they'll also have concentrated liquidity and some of the like the pools it might look like kind of like Balancer where you don't have to put in the exact like a 50-50 split. You can kind of like just put in whatever you have and so it'll be interesting to see how they handle that like the liquidity from there. Um, but anyway, I want to try to wrap it up soon. So like some caveats. For the Polygon, like the Balancer and Kyber network, the only bad thing I can think of is, and it's not really like evil where like they're stealing money or anything like that. Polygon is more centralized and it's uh, not as secure as the Ethereum L1 mainnet. Um, so that's something to keep in mind. I don't want to like spread FUD or anything. Um, but it's just something to keep in mind. And they had the whole because I think the whole thing is like the funds that are locked up is under the control of I think like a multi-sig wallet where it's only like 5 people have kind of like total control over like all the funds that are locked in. But I'll let you do your own research on that. So and then also in terms of like allocation of your funds, like I wouldn't put like everything into like one place. I guess you uh, if you want to be truly safe, like you want to spread out your money across like different places. So again, I'll let you guys do your own research and form your own opinions. So in terms of which is better, um, well, I mean, SushiSwap on Harmony One is definitely the higher paying out, but higher payout usually means like more risk. Not that Harmony One will get hacked or anything, but or SushiSwap will get hacked or anything. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying maybe like if it's not enough liquidity, it'll be harder to pull your money out. So maybe that could be why the APRs are still relatively high, or maybe like people haven't like found out about it yet. And then let's see what else. I think I prefer. bouncer. Um, I guess like the overall, because it automatically pays out the bouncer token every week. And then it has a slightly friendlier user interface, at least for me. And for Kyber, they're not bad either. But like the rewards are locked up, and they'll be available to claim over time. And oh, I just want to let me circle back to the balancer. I forgot to mention that uh for the chi, and I think also for the MTA, these particular pools, I think you'll also get like a separate chi token um like payout as well. So check your wallets for that. And I think it might also be the same for the MTA token as well. So I guess just as an idea, not advice or anything. What you probably do is just like depending on whether you like the token or not, you could probably take the Chi token and bring it over to their platform and stick it there, or you could just like redeposit back into the pool. And I think it might be the same thing for the MTA token as well. Because this was like also like a relatively recent partnership as well. So I'm kind of hoping that other projects might, I guess if they want to do like liquidity mining, so it'll be like a you know it's like a double like a sweet double. Like you can also get balancer as well, in addition to whatever liquidity mining token that they offer. So this is something to think about and to bring to your attention. Um, and if you like this video, please give it a like, consider subscribing, and then also you can also check out my 0x publish blog as well. So thank you for watching and have a great one. Bye now.